Hi, I'm Will from the Beardy Explorer channel, and today I'm going to take this block of wood and try and turn it into a kuksa. Right, okay, so I've got this block of walnut and I'm going to hopefully try and turn it into what is known as a kuksa, which is a old style Norwegian sort of cup, if you will, a cup or a bowl, or basically some sort of food and drink vessel. A lot of hikers and backpackers and people like that do like these because they're like hand carved and look pretty awesome, I think, personally. I've seen quite a lot of pictures of them and I thought, yeah, that is something I'd love to have a go at. So I've never done any whittling, carving or any sort of detailed stuff like this before. So I've got myself a nice little basic set of whittling and carving knives and hooks and things like that in there. And I'm going to try and attempt to make my first kuksa. So we'll have a go, see how it pans out. To make this, I think I have got obviously technology in my favour these days, so I'm going to probably use my speed carver to try and get the bulk of the material out of this, just for sort of speed and ease of use, just because I've never made one of these before. It could go completely to pot and go wrong, so I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours and hours carving something that might not ever be anything. So I'm going to sort of rough it out with my speed carver and then finish it off doing hand carving. So hopefully you'll have some fun doing it, and you might learn something out of it, I might learn something out of it, and have a bit of an experience with a block of wood. Let's go for it. Right, so I've marked out a rough design of how I feel I want to make it. So that's the basic shape I'm going to go with. I'm going to try and jigsaw off some of the big bits off, but a bit worried about using the jigsaw because obviously with thick hardwood timber like this being walnut, using long jigsaw blades, which is what I have got, they can tend to wander a little bit in the hardwood, so I don't really want it to go packing into me shape too much. I'm going to take maybe the corners off, maybe chunk out of there to start with, just to see how well it goes. I mean, I have taken this chunk off with the jigsaw and it didn't wander too much, but they were straight lines. So I'm going to have a go with that first and see how that goes, and yeah, start taking some wood off and see what happens. Right, that's got that roughed out very roughly. As you can see, when I was jigsawing it, I did get a bit of deviation with the blade. It's the problem with having such hard wood and the blades being so long, they do tend to wander a bit, but it hasn't detracted too much from the shape, it hasn't cut too much into it, and obviously it's going to be rustic looking, so I'm not too worried or concerned about that at the minute, because I've still got plenty of meat on the wood, so to speak. So I'm going to start by excavating the actual middle bit next. I've got a speed carver to do this with, so I'm going to use that to start with and get the bulk of the material out, and then towards the end of that I'll probably try and do some hand carving with it and just smooth it out and get it looking nice with hand carving. But I'm going to use a speed carver, and once I've done that I'll try and shape up the outside as well and start getting some shape to it, because at the minute it still just looks like a nasty chunk of wood. So let's get carving and see if we can pull a Kuksa out of this. Nice. Right, I feel like we're getting somewhere with this, although I feel like I've made an espresso cup. It's not terribly deep and big yet, but we'll work on that. But we're getting the rough shape sort of sorted now. Obviously I've gone a bit thin there, but I've still got plenty to work with. Did find a bit of sort of almost dead wood on there, and I wouldn't mind taking that bit out, but I'm going to start profiling the bottom in a bit now to get it a bit more sort of curved in that way. And I want to cut out a piece here for the handle. I want to drill sort of a large hole there for a nice sort of finger hole in that bit there, but I want to cut this piece out as well. So I will attempt to mark that out how I want it and then start profiling that in. But it's going pretty well so far. Quite impressed with how well that speed carver's excavated that hole. It's a bit rough and ready in there at the minute. I'm not sure how well I'm going to get on with me carving things. I did have a little bit of a play a second ago just to see how easy it was to carve by hand. This stuff is rock hard. It's been sort of seasoned for quite a long time. It's very, very dry. So could have fun and games trying to carve that, but the speed carver's eating it nicely. But yeah, hand carving, that's something we'll have an investigation on a bit later. So I've just got it all sanded up now, and that's looking rather nice now. That little sander, that rotary sander, does an amazing job. It does cut the material back nice, and I was using a 180 grit on that, so it's got most of the sort of gouging chunky marks out that the speed carve has done. Obviously I haven't got it on the inside of there, but I think what I'll do now is use some hand sanding, get it looking nice, reshape some of the bits that are sort of knobbly and sticking out in places, and I'll go with some of my whittling knives now and probably sort of shape in this handle here. There's a bit of a knobbly bit, I don't know if you can see it there, just on there, and try and sort of cut that bit out, shape in the hole so it's a bit more comfortable on the finger, and obviously have a go at trying to scoop out what I can from that actual holding part of the cup. So I'm going to have a go at the hand tools now and refine it and hopefully make something of it. But as it stands at the minute, that looks rather good. Pretty pleased with myself with that, considering it's the first time I've ever really had a go at sort of carving and whatever. I think that's come out extremely well. Pretty happy with that. So cheers, and let's get on with some hand carving. There we go. That is the Kuksa completed now and looking rather nice. I am very happy with that. Very pleased with the results. I think it's come out super nice. I mean, for the first attempt, there's obviously a few issues that need sort of highlighting. Sort of it's a bit thin there, as it's a bit thick there, and a bit thick there. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. And I think if I have another go at these, which I think I'm going to have to because my daughter's seen this and she says she really wants one, so I'm going to have to make another one of these at some point for her. And yeah, but very happy with that. Carving out the inside with the hook knife, that took a lot of time and effort. It turns out, obviously with it being hard and that, the different grains inside here, so cutting it in different angles, I've started to get the hang of getting the right cutting angle after a period of time and started getting, you know, more efficient at it. So yeah, that's worked out really well. Pretty happy with that. Alright, so that concludes this video now, and I hope you've enjoyed the content. I hope you learned something. I certainly have learned a bit of something carving wood, so yes, it's been a bit of a fun game that. I enjoyed doing that. It's something I'd highly recommend if you've got a bit of time on your hands and want to do a bit of carving. By all means, have a go. What do you think of it, Eva? You like it? You're after one of these, aren't you? You want one of them. So if you've enjoyed this content, what do they have to do, Eva?
Like, subscribe and hit the bell button.
Oh, perfect. perfect. That wasn't rehearsed or anything. So yeah, please drop us a like, hit the bell button, subscribe. That would be super awesome if you can. And we'll check you next time. So take care of yourselves and see you again soon. Bye bye.